Give me food.
Hi everyone. My name is Megan. I'm an intern here at the Utica Zoo. I'd like to welcome you to our California sea lion exhibit. On deck we have Beth. She's one of our trainers, and today she will be working with Porter. Porter is our male California sea lion. He's 14 years old and weighs about 600 pounds. And he just woke up from a nap, and he is in the middle of his rut season right now, so he might not respond to all the behaviors. He doesn't necessarily feel food motivated lately, so he might not be as hungry as he would normally be. But we can still show you all his cool features, and I can tell you all about him and Munchkin. Munchkin is our other California sea lion. She's our female. She's 18 years old and weighs about 250 pounds. And about a month, 5 weeks ago, she had a pup. His name is Nico. You might have seen him earlier if you were here earlier in the afternoon. And he is a male, obviously, as I just said. And the two of them are inside right now. I think they were resting. They were out all afternoon, so the two of them are tired from swimming around and keeping track of each other. Oh, okay. She's going to let him back out after, I guess. So for now, I'll just tell you about Porter and Munchkin. They were both born in the wild, but they were deemed non-releasable for different reasons. Munchkin was found at less than 48 hours old and was too young to hunt for her own food. She became comfortable around people, and a minor eye injury caused them to deem her non-releasable. She came here to live at the Utica Zoo in 1999, where she became a companion for our older male sea lion, Lenny, who lived here until late 2010 when he died of the old age of over 30 years old. Porter here had a slightly different rehab experience. He was captured on 2 separate occasions after getting too close to people. Each time he was tagged and released back into the wild to see if he would do okay and resituate himself back in his natural environment. But on his 3rd capture, he was actually found inside a house with a couple kids sitting on the couch. So he was obviously a little too comfortable, and as you can see, he is very large, so that's not safe for anyone. So he was deemed a nuisance animal and therefore non-releasable. He came here to live with Munchkin after Lenny died in 2011, and that following spring they had their first offspring. Her name is Zoe, and she now lives at the Audubon Zoo, where Porter once lived before he came here. And they also had another pup named Sam, who now lives at the Audubon Zoo, Moody Gardens Aquarium. He just left about a month and a half ago. Some of you may remember him. He's 2 years old. And now obviously they have their most recent pup, Nico, who is inside and is about a month and a half. So even though our sea lions are not able to stay in the wild, they still have special adaptations that would allow them to survive in an ocean environment. If you look closely at Porter, you may be able to see that he has nostrils, just like you and I do. And like us, he can breathe through these nostrils or through his mouth. But what's slightly different is that he doesn't have to pinch his nostrils when he goes underwater if he doesn't want to breathe in the water. He can voluntarily close his nostrils so that he can stay underwater for up to 20 minutes. They also have very large lungs, so this allows them to be able to swim deeper into the ocean and hunt for their food and swim as they need to. Behind their nostrils, they have whiskers. They're called vibrissae, and they help to locate fish. As they dive deeper into the ocean, the water can become very murky and difficult to see. So these vibrissae help to act as second eyes almost, so they can know where they're going and if they're close to walls or things like that. But when the water is clear, they can use their large dark eyes to locate food that might be deep in the ocean. A sea lion's eye can withstand the tremendous pressures of deep sea diving and is deep in color in order to adjust to the lower light underwater. But don't be fooled, they can see very well above water as well. Now if you can see on Porter when he comes back on land, he also has a lot of cone-shaped teeth. They do not use these teeth to chew like we do. Instead, they use them just to grasp onto all of their diet. Sea lions' diet consists of fish, squid, and octopus, so obviously these are all very slippery and fast when it's swimming in the ocean. So they use these to be able to grasp onto it quick when they're hunting for it. And then they swallow up all their food, or they tear it up into larger chunks, but they don't need to chew it up as we do. Another use for these teeth is to defend their territory against intruders. If a male sea lion thinks his section of the beach is being threatened, he may need to show or use his teeth in order to defend himself against another male. If that doesn't scare them away, roaring might. Porter here has 2 vocalizations. There's his roar, very scary. And there's his bark, which Munchkin also can vocalize. Sea lions have very flexible spines that allow them to capture quick swimming fish. As you might have seen, he can bend all the way back. Their flexible neck and back also help them to escape from predators and allow them to make quick maneuvers in the water. Their primary predators in the wild are sharks and killer whales, so they obviously need to be very fast and agile. As you can also see on Porter, he does have 4 very large flippers. Their front ones are used for power and their rear are used to steer. The front flippers are made up of 5 digits, just like you and I have fingers, but there's skin in between each to make like a paddle in the water. This allows them to be able to swim up to 20 miles an hour in the water. They can also use these to help warm or cool their body temperature by waving them in the air or tucking them underneath their bodies. These flippers can also help them when they're on land too. Because sea lions can rotate their flippers underneath their body, they can move very easily on land and even run when necessary. When on land, sea lions can run up to 10 miles an hour, so I wouldn't suggest getting too close if you don't know if you can outrun them. And one thing to note is that sea lions do have hair all over their entire body except underneath their flippers, so they only look rubbery, but they're actually very furry and cute when they're dry. 2 other features I want to show you are at the different ends of Porter's body. You can see on the top of his head he does have a large bump. It's called a crest, and it grows on males when they reach sexual maturity around 6 to 8 years old, so it just indicates that they are sexually mature. And the other fun feature they have is their tail. Munchkin has a tail too, both males and females do. And this helps for balance when they're walking on land. So Beth is probably going to finish up in a couple minutes, so I'll let you finish watching the feeding. But I just want to finish up with a couple notes. The first is pollution. Each year, millions of animals on land and in the water die every year because of all the garbage that gets into their habitats. They either think it's food, so they try to consume it, or they get entangled with it. So we think that everyone can help prevent these tragedies by recycling when possible. And another threat to marine mammals is overfishing for human consumption. It reduces the food supplies available to our sea lions and other animals that eat fish. So you can download an app for your regional seafood watch program to make good fish choices that come from local markets or sustainable fish populations. So thank you for coming to the feeding, and I'll be over here if you guys have questions. Enjoy the rest of your day at the zoo.